Hey guys, it's Anokay. We're going to be doing a whole new video. Yes, it's been 2 months. I know, but I mean it's just a lot of crazy things that's been going on. So we're back. We're back in this. We're back getting this bread, baby. You already know. So we're going to be doing this new series. It's going to be basically topic videos. It's going to be basically named Anokay Talks and whatever. You can also suggest topics for me to talk about because I'm probably going to need them. So and sorry if like a lot of like stuttering or pause gaps are in the video. This was recorded like at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had to do like 2 to 3 takes of this, and I was not willing to make a whole nother take on it. So you get what you get here. Haha. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll get right back to you.
Crying over you, and I'm so sick of love songs, so tired of tears, so done with wishing you were still here.
Hello, it's Anokay. We're back with another video for today, and we're going to actually be doing a new particular series. It's going to be story time with Anokay. Okay, so we're going to talk about this incident that happened basically today, but whenever I upload this, it'll be however long or whatever. So, we're about to close up the store, correct? You already know that with COVID going on right now, the store is closing at 10 o'clock. We don't close at 12 or anything. It's at 10. Okay. So this happened like about, I would say 9:50 or so. So this lady like walks up to me and says, "Hey, does the machines do cash back?" And I was like, "Yeah, all the machines do cash back," because I was working the self-checkout at the time. That's not my natural job. I'm actually a door host. So when it came down to it, I was like, "Yeah, they do cash back," because I've been cross-trained. I already know all this junk, yada yada yada. Moving on. So she begins to scan her items, all her food, and her curling iron. And eventually she calls over to me and is like, "Hey, so," and this is the funny part, by the way, she has 3 pennies, right? So she tries to tell me that she paid for the items, and she says when she got her cash back, it just plopped out 3 pennies. And I was just like, that's not correct. Let me look at the screen. So I looked at the screen, and it still says $26 remaining to be paid for. She did use a card. She used a food stamp card, which is the EBT card, and it said it took from the food stamps $16.66. So it paid for all the food that she had. There's just one item that she didn't pay for, which is the curling iron, which was $25, but with tax it's $26. So she had to pay the remaining $26. Okay? So I tell her, well, it's telling me that you did not complete the transaction. She was like, well, yes, I did. It told me I completed the transaction. It said that the transaction was complete. I was like, no, the transaction was never completed. Maybe the transaction for that specific amount completed, but the transaction in a whole was never complete. So she then proceeds to look at me dumb. She was like, well, it's saying right here that the transaction was completed. Look, she points. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen nobody ever do this. She points at the 0.00 pounds. She points at the scale reading and tells me, "Look, see, look, it's saying that the transaction is completed. I don't owe any more money." And she points towards the green button that says the $26. And it says, this is the cashback I was trying to get. and I assumed that yeah, you was gonna come give me the $26. I was like, no, that is the scale reading. She continues to go like, oh, as if she's been dumbfounded that was, I don't know. Anyway, so I say this is the scale reading, this green button, and I know damn well, I know damn well that you know this is not correct by you just saying this to me, because you had to press this button. It says pay and it says $26, and I know it's changed. I know it went from the $46 amount to the $26 amount. I know it had to, and I know it had to do it in her face. There's no way it couldn't have done that. I refuse to believe otherwise. So at this point, I know she's trying to manipulate my mind. She's trying to manipulate me. She's literally trying to make me seem like a complete tool. So I tell her that, well, I can't. As far as I'm aware, on the screen it says $26. You cannot take this stuff out the store because the transaction never completed. It's not telling me anything else. So she then proceeds to tell me that, well, I paid with cash and then I used the card. So I was like, okay, but it's not telling me that you use cash, because how the machines work is that if you put cash in the machines, it's going to tell you. It's going to say, it's going to pop up the little green thing just like it did with the food stamp card, that's saying, hey, she inserted this much cash into the machine. Am I wrong? No. So she proceeds to so she then proceeds to know that where she fucked up at by telling me that. She was like, oh, well, I mean I used the food stamp card because it's on the EBT cards, it can be used for food and there's a cash. So it's basically like there's two benefits on the card. So I was like, okay, but it's only saying that you use the EBT food stamp card. That's the only thing that's saying to me. As far as I'm aware, you're lying to me. There's no way that you're doing anything else but lying to me. So then she gets pissed because she realizes that her plan is not working and that I am just unfazed by what she's telling me. She realizes that I'm an intellectual of some sort. So she begins to yell at me and she begins to curse at me and tells me that I'm dumb and that she hates Walmart and that you're just trying to steal my money and that the machines are dumb. They're not as good as you think they are. They're lying and they're just messed up. The machine's wrong. So I just keep telling her, well, ma'am, as far as I'm aware, never have I ever seen this kind of scenario. So with the pennies, there's no way that it could have shot you out 3 pennies. The only time it probably could have ever done, actually no, it could have never done that. If there was no cash to give you in the exact amount you try to cash out on, it's just not going to give you the cash. It's just going to pop up a little screen saying that, hey, there's not enough money in the machine to continue the transaction. And I would be like, okay, well, we can get you, well, I can call somebody and they can put some cash in the machine. Cool. That would have been a whole different scenario. Everybody been happy and go on about their day. But no, this stupid bitch wants to keep trying to convince me that I am an idiot, that I'm a complete tool, that I do not know what I'm doing. So after an argument and debate with her for 10 minutes, during those 10 minutes, my supervisor, who is basically AP, I'm not going to say any names. No names will be said for anybody. I'm just going to say basically how it happened. So he comes over and says, hey, hey, are you all right? Because he was trying to get a hold of me on my walkie, and I was not responding. So he was like, okay, something's going wrong. Something is not going right. So I'm gonna go check on him. So she tries to walk off from me, because that wasn't even the first time she tried to walk off from me. The first time she tried to walk, I think I already said it, but just to reiterate, she tried to walk off from me the first time, and I told her, ma'am, I can't let you leave this store if you do not complete this transaction. There's no way I can let you leave this store. I will have to you will have to give me the stuff back, or we will have police up here. That's just how it's gonna go. You're not leaving this store until something is resolved, on our part or on your part. So, but the second time she tried to walk off from me, my supervisor stopped her and said, hey, you did not complete the transaction. It's saying that you still have to pay. She then tries to explain that, and she doesn't listen to me in this situation anymore. So she tries to tell him that she completed the payment and that everything is wrong. So everything that she's saying is right, and everything that I'm saying, what the machine's saying, is wrong. And he's just pointing it out, saying, yeah, you didn't complete the transaction. As far as it's saying you only pay $16.66 out of this $46 balance. You still have $26 in this whole balance that you have to pay for. And then she just goes off again. She's getting pissed. She's getting frustrated because she can't convince nobody that she's telling the truth. So, and then I can tell he was getting frustrated because he was turning red. Like he was getting like I could tell that he was not having it. He eventually just said, you know what, I'm gonna just go look at the cameras and we're gonna see from there what happened. So it was all like cool. And so she waited just for a minute. The grandma was fine. The grandma was like, hey, he's gonna go look it up and see what happened, and he's gonna come back and tell us. She proceeds to try to walk off again. But this time, out of luck, a team leader, well, acting team leader, whatever, comes in and basically just stops right there because she's just confused as to what's going on. So and then stops her, and she tries to tell the team leader, saying, hey, this is some bullshit. She tries to say everything nicely. She tries to say, oh, the machine is telling me that I didn't pay for my stuff, and da 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 da. Basically the same thing she tries to tell me at first before she got pissed off. And she walks up to the machine with her, and she just stares at the screen and says, yeah, you didn't complete the transaction. And she went off again. The third time was hilarious. She was going off. Like I can tell from both of them that they were just getting pissed. They were, because it was such an annoyance. She was being such a dumb bitch for no reason. I'm like, you're making a whole scene. You're making yourself look dumb. For what? You got busted. You're not trying to you're not convincing anybody that you did anything when you actually didn't do it. Stop trying to convince us that you're doing this. But you know, she's going to continue, and she's going to continue to use the penny trick, because she's trying to say that, hey, 3 pennies popped out of the machine, when really she took it out of her pocket. Because on the video, and I watched the video after all this concluded, she didn't reach into the coin slot. Let that sink in. She didn't reach into the coin slot. She had the pennies ready to show it to me, so I would be like, oh, that's not right. Maybe we can do this, or maybe that, or maybe because like some people are easily to manipulate. Some people are easy to manipulate. Some stores are like this, where they'll be like, well, to solve the problem, we're just going to like just let them have their way. We're going to let them have the product. But because maybe this is like a machine issue, some people can actually get fooled by this, and it's kind of sad. But not me. I was not ready to allow that for me. And the thing is, if she was to walk off again and even get far enough to even get to the door, I already had my buddy sitting there. So all I had to do was just radio him and be like, stop her. And she would have probably been livid after that, because I'm like, we have communication. We're going to communicate with each other. We're not just going to let you just get away with this stuff, you know? So, yeah. So basically how we got this to conclude, we told her, hey, you cannot, because basically she tried to convince us saying that she used the card twice. And as far as we're aware, you cannot use the same benefit. You cannot use two different benefits part of that card twice on the same transaction. So to do this, you'd have to use the food stamp card first on the food stuff, and then once that transaction is completed, you start a whole new transaction with whatever item is left. Cool. She was getting mad because she was realizing that she was going to have to pay for her stuff. Aw, that's sad. I'm sorry. What you think was gonna happen? Like, from the moment I was not having your shit, what did you think was going to happen? You were going to pay for your shit. So, sorry. So eventually we convinced her, because we printed off the slip saying that, okay, the only item that was not paid for on the receipt was the iron, was the curling iron. I even removed the curling iron to make a point to say, hey, this never got paid for. So when I removed it, $0 balance, the transaction completed, she got a receipt, and she was like, yeah, I want the curling iron. And she kept saying, and one thing she kept saying throughout the whole argument that we was all part of was saying that if I wanted to walk out the store, well, I would have fucking already did it when he was had his back turned, talking to, because I was talking to another, to like the self-checkout host that was there, because they were about to leave, so I was just making sure that it was good for transition or whatever. Cool. And I was like, I get that, but you're not that dumb. We were already watching you, so it was not like you were going to get very far. If you got past me, you were not going to get past the other guys that I had that are in place, that are probably going to also stop you, because they're also planning on checking you. You weren't getting away with it regardless of what you wanted to do. You were already on our radar. So basically we resolved it by having her pay for the curling iron on another transaction. She was pissed. I've never had somebody yank a receipt from me so fast and so violently. And she didn't speak to me after that. She just walked off. Like, she was pissed. When I say she was pissed, she was pissed. So when I went outside, because all this resolved and everything like that, I was hanging out with my supervisor, and my friend was laughing and giggling. I even talked shit about the chick a couple of times and called it dandy. I was not being quiet about it either. They were basically like right across the street, because she had parked her car in the handicap spot, and you know that's not far away from the door. So when I did that, I don't know if she heard me talking shit, but she mocked me when I was laughing, because we was laughing about something completely different. It wasn't even about her, and she just mocking me laughing. And next thing I know, she's like I want to know what y'all laughing about. I know y'all better not be talking shit about me, or else I'm gonna come up there and beat y'all ass. Here's the crazy thing about this: she has 2 kids with her. 2 kids with her. and she's pregnant. What good of example are you showing for your kids? Honestly, you don't deserve to have kids. If this is how you are, I can only imagine you just being outside of this situation. So it's like, dude, get some help, please. Stop it. Well, that was my little explanation. I kind of wanted to rant about it. I kind of basically did, but yeah, working at Walmart is fucking fantastic. That was like the only action I had that whole day that really just it was fun for that reason. It was like we didn't really have any much action but that. So when that happened, it was just wonderful, because it really gave me that thrill that I seek when I do come to work and do door host BS, pretty much. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole story. She tried to manipulate me out of a curling iron. I think she was probably trying to get it all for free. I'm pretty sure she wanted me to be like, oh yeah, you guys can go cancel the whole transaction, and she ends up not paying 46 bucks, because unfortunately with card, that whatever money that got took from the card does not fully come to us until the transaction has completed in full. So until that payment turns to zero, if we cancel the transaction, we don't keep none of that money. There's no way we can do it because the bank has to authorize it. And since the payment was never completed, the bank would not authorize it. It would be an unlikely case scenario, point blank. So honestly, made this video a little long. I didn't want it to be this long, but obviously with how this is going to go, there's probably going to be stories where it's going to be pretty long. And it kind of takes away from like the, you know, the casual gameplay videos of me just being a retard. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading at all, but that's going to be soon to change. So hope you guys had a great day. I sure the fuck did. And yeah, this has been Anokay. Peace.